We are starting our new and final unit in reading today, and it's called Color Your World. Color Your World. And in Color Your World, we'll be reading lots of stories and poems about all the colors that we see around us. We're going to be reading some stories about the chameleon, and we've talked about a chameleon before. And we'll even be reading a story in Spanish, and we're going to listen to it in Spanish and in English and see how it's different. But the things that you should be looking for in this unit are things like what things change colors like a chameleon or like leaves or even the sunset or sunrise? And what colors do you see in the world around you? Now, the story that I have for you today is called Rainbow Stew, and I want to talk to you about a couple of vocabulary words before we begin. Stew is a food, and it's made with meat or fish and lots of vegetables, and it's cooked together in a liquid. A stew is a little bit thicker than a soup. And then the next word is herbs, and herbs is a plant that you add to food to make it more flavorful. So if you cook with lots of herbs, you will have very flavorful dishes. The genre that we're going to be talking about today is rhyming fiction. And the rhyme gives it a little bit more entertaining value there. It's meant to entertain. And when you listen to Rainbow Stew, I want you to think about all the food that you know that's different colors. All right, Rainbow Stew. And I've included this picture. This is a drawing of a rainbow, and you can see the colors very clearly in that picture. And then this is an actual photograph of a rainbow. And you can notice that the colors kind of blend together. They're not as sharp, the lines aren't as sharp and divided as they are in the drawing. Now, when you look, I have written here, it says Roy G. Biv. And Roy G. Biv is an acronym that we use to remember the colors of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, indigo, and violet. So let's go ahead and read Rainbow Stew. There are no pictures in this story today, so you'll just be listening. Stretch, wiggle, sniff, and giggle. We scramble from our beds. Grandpa's making pancakes for his favorite sleepyheads. We love to visit Grandpa. It's always so much fun. He lets us play outside all day so we can jump and run. Whimper, sigh, cloudy sky. Is it too wet to play? We don't want to stay inside because of rain today. Grandpa smiles and says to us, I know what we can do. Let's go and find some colors for my famous rainbow stew. All right, so this is where they're going to start making the rainbow stew, and let's listen for some of the colors that are going into the rainbow stew. Splish, splash, puddle, dash. We bounce right out the door. We're off to find some red and green, some yellow, orange, and more. Grandpa asks us how to move between each garden row, lifting up the drippy leaves as we see what colors grow. So they're going to find their ingredients for rainbow stew out in their garden. Drip, drop, shake, and hop. Here are lots of greens. Spinach, kale, and cucumbers, zucchini, peas, and beans. Now, so those are the green things that are going to go into their stew. We find some yellow peppers and a purple cabbage head. We tug on rosy radishes and pop them from their bed. So far there's green, lots of green things. Kales, cucumber, zucchini, peas, and beans. Yellow peppers, purple cabbage, and rosy radishes. Now, rosy radishes, what color would they be? Red. Rosy would be a way to describe red. Slip, slide, squishy stride, we snip off red tomatoes. We dig in dark, wet dirt and pull out brown potatoes. We jump around like grasshoppers and buzz about like bees. We creep along like ladybugs and all get muddy knees. Pull, pick, gather quick. We need more for the stew. Grab some orange carrots and a purple eggplant too. Our basket's full of colors. We park it by the door. Our clothes and boots are dripping, making puddles on the floor. Grandpa helps us wash our hands and dries our soggy hair. It's almost time to cook, he says, so find dry clothes to wear. Peel, slice, chop, and dice. Colors fill the pot. Stir in herbs and water, and then wait till it gets hot. Now, did you hear our word herbs? Yep, they put in the herbs to make their food so flavorful. Grandpa says he's proud of us. We're such terrific cooks. While the stew is heating, we have time to read our books. How, yow, tummies growl. We're a hungry bunch. It's time to serve up heaping bowls of rainbow stew for lunch. Yum, 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 yum. All right, so they had lots of different colors in their rainbow stew, all those vegetables that they were talking about. I'll have to try to find my book and get it out about growing the rainbow. I think that's what it's called, because it talks about all the different colors you can find growing in the garden. Now, I will be sure to include the discussion starters for rainbow stew so that you can talk about all the colors that you eat with your big person.